Kale, thank you for joining me today in Pop Culture Unplugged.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Exciting times, my friend. We're on season 4 of Walker. It's been a long journey for you. And we're going to jump into the show in a little bit too. I like to first start off, getting to know my guests, getting to find out, your journey to the acting world.
Yeah.
What inspired you to pursue this?
Whenever I was a kid, I was a very like outgoing and still am very outgoing person. Very, jittery, energized. And so in public, I would do like I think when I was like 5 years old, I had like characters that I created. And people like Jim Carrey helped like inspire me to create like little characters and whatnot. And so I'd be in public and I would just do those characters and make people laugh and, sometimes make them, scream or, whatever kind of emotion I could provoke out of somebody, I just love to do. And then I joined an improv class one time, and the lady was like, "Hey, you should get an agent. You're pretty good at this." And as a kid, I was like, "I can do this professionally for the rest of my life. Sign me up." And so that's kind of, I think my personality just kind of like lined up with my career. You know what I mean? When I was younger. So
Mm.
that's the story. That's the story.
When you say you create these characters, now the big question is like, have you written these characters down and maybe you could pursue them into like a shorts or video,
Uh,
something?
that's a good question. I haven't really like none of my crazy like goofy characters. That's not something for me personally that I would want to translate on screen. But I do have like after watching Singing in the Rain, I had like not a character per se, but I had like a sort of like personality to where like
Okay.
I would wear like really fancy outfit and play some like jazz and start like dancing like I'm in a musical. And I was like, maybe I could like, maybe this could manifest into something.
Okay.
And then I do have one like sort of mellow-ish character that I'm trying to create to write my own story. But writing is hard. Oh my gosh, the acting for me is so much easier. Um, I'm not a writer. I figured that out really quickly, but I am learning. I have a bunch of like Steven Spielberg books, and I have some cinematography books as well that I'm cracking in, and I definitely do want to tell my own stories. But to answer your question, 50-50.
There you go. So, you've been in the industry for a few years now, but you're a young actor. What do you think's been like the most challenging aspect for building your career, you think?
Hmm. I guess just like to build a good career, you gotta know a lot of people. And I feel like the hardest part for me was like, well, it wasn't necessarily hard for me because I love just talking to everybody. But networking can be very scary. You
Mm,
just like it's every time is brand new. You go to an event, you're gonna always meet new people, new people, new people. And that is a little bit nerve-wracking because it is new every time. Um, as far as like acting ability goes, I was never nervous just because I was always so driven and passionate to just be better and be better and be better. And I will be for the rest of my life. Try to be better. So I guess the hardest part was like, you know, interviewing with like agents and whatnot and like getting in my head like, oh, don't mess up. I can't mess up. Or, the audition process is also really scary. But I guess just like networking is pretty scary.
mm. You mentioned talent ages. Like, how many did you go through till you landed the person you wanted to be with,
Like
or vice
agents.
versa? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't really had like issue. I'm with Paradigm right now, and they're absolutely. I love them so much. I love that agent so much. That let's see. I was with a couple before that. That one was pretty scary. It didn't take long, but I did have to memorize two monologues for that one and
Mm.
perform them in person. So I'm not sure. Like my mom knows all the time questions because she's like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I can't answer that question. I don't know. I don't really know. I can't put a time frame on it, but it was
Mm.
pretty nerve-wracking to get in there.
You mentioned your mom. How does it feel, like family members seeing you on TV or performing in any other projects you've done?
It's
What's been
um it's cool. I love it. I do love it. Because they come to set a lot. And my brother and sister, they're also part of the industry. My brother's behind the camera, he's screenwriter and director. And my sister is an actress. And so, they're used to it. They showed up to my sets a lot and I've showed up to theirs. And it's very funny because my sister can sometimes be very brutally honest, which I love, which I
right,
love.
right.
I appreciate her for that. But not in like an insecure way, but more of like a well, 50-50. But anyway, yeah, it's fun. It's great. I mean, it's just like how I see myself on TV screen. Sometimes I get a little nervous. Sometimes
Mm.
I get a little bit hard on myself. So to have other people watch it and tell me, like my family members are like, hey, like that was actually like really good. You're just in your head about it. That part's really good. I've never been nervous to have them watch anything that I've been in. It's a cool experience though.
Mm. For like, throughout your career and everything, what kind of roles do you think, or like genres do you think are like drawn to you that you want to get your hands on, or even like you're performing now?
I don't know. For a long time, it used to be I was going through a phase. And it's not a phase, but it was like a transition. I'll say I went through a transition of kind of breaking the walls from, some things that like how do I explain this? I guess when I started watching indie films for the first time, and then I watched the Good Will Hunting for the first time. I think I was like 12 or
Nice.
13. My brother gave me a Blu-ray of it, and it just like changed my life. I was like, I didn't know these type of movies could exist. Like, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like I went from like, kind of kiddish, immature to like, whoa, this is art. This is new. So I think for a long time I was really drawn to the only thing I really wanted to do was like really gritty roles, had a lot of, substance, like, Timothy Chalamet in Beautiful Boy. I haven't seen the movie, but I've just seen his performance, and it's absolutely like it's brilliant. It's like it's a dream role for sure.
Mm.
But then I'll watch something like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and I'll be like this fun, goofy, like doesn't take itself seriously. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
And then I have La La Land, which is just like a whole genius. The
Mm.
movie is genius. And then I'll watch like Whiplash and want to do this like really again like gritty. So I don't know. It just varies upon how my mood is upon the day. Because sometimes I want to do a horror movie. Sometimes I just want to scream,
Yeah.
like in a movie and like run and hide. And sometimes I want to cry and sometimes I want to dance. So I guess it's kind of an impossible question to answer. So I'll just say everything. I just want to do everything.
Mm. Just so you don't want like a top like a superhero movie or villain or
For that, I really love. I have a Batman poster right here. I
I
love
saw
Nightwing
that.
a lot. I have a Nightwing comic book. I have a couple comic books, but Robin or Nightwing would be pretty cool. Or like
Yeah.
Kid Flash, if they ever do Kid Flash or something like that. But I think definitely Nightwing would be cool. It'd be a little rough putting on spandex for 3 months,
Mm.
but
It would definitely be worth it though.
it would be for sure worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't think anybody will turn down any type of those movies. I don't think like I don't
No.
know. I don't know. I don't see anybody turning stuff like that down. It's like turning down a James Bond role.
Exactly. And also I think that it helps one because it's DC, but two because James Gunn is handling it. And I
Yeah.
think he's just an amazing filmmaker. Like I really like his mind is so unique. We don't have a lot of minds like his. And so he's just kind of like letting everything out.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Really cool to see.
So yeah, let's jump into Walker now. Congrats, by the way, season 4. What's been
Yeah.
your experience working on this show and playing the world of August?
Dude, it's been an amazing experience so far. I think we were all a little nervous. All the cast was a little nervous to start something new. I wasn't coming off of anything like crazy. I just came off like a couple guest star and whatnot, but other people came off of like full-time series, like Jared, for example, came off of
Yeah.
15 seasons of Supernatural. I can only imagine the nerves he was feeling. But it was, I mean, the moment we met, I mean, Jared started a group, a text message group chat for all of the cast, and so we
Yeah.
were just able to like even though we didn't see each other all the time, we would always text each other, always call. And so I feel like we became family like within a week. It was
Wow.
like it was like that. I mean, it was like we all knew that we wanted this to be an incredible experience. Because the show is, based on the family aspect of it all. That's a really important part of this show. And so I feel like we all wanted to um, do that in real life as well. You know what I mean? We don't want to have a bad set
Yeah.
experience. But I've been really fortunate to not have any bad experiences on set, but they just made sure that we would never ever even think about having one. Like it was just an insane experience. But these 4 years have just been, we had the shooting schedule this year was a little tight. We shortened some days and we got some episodes out quicker. So we definitely put on our work mode this season. But we played so hard this past 4 years. That's just been an incredible experience.
So we've had 4 seasons. August, he's had a quite journey throughout the series. Like, how do you think your character has evolved and what and his personality throughout the seasons?
Yeah, he's becoming more and more like Kale is. Like
Yeah.
I'm very like season one. August and now Kale are the most polar opposite. It's insane. Like it's night and day. It really is. He was a very I wouldn't say depressed because he didn't really have like any moments of like like insane sadness, but he was lost is the word to use. He was very lost
Mm.
and very introverted, very to himself, and he was very shy. And as the seasons sort of progressed, they kind of threw the writers through like situations at August to see how he would get out of them. And he got into a school fight, which was never in my bingo cards for August at the beginning of this series. And then he had like three different love interests. I was like, okay, August, go ahead. And then now he's pursuing the army and wanting to enlist. And he's fully, I feel like he's getting his confidence back. Like he's still not quite there, but from season one, this little frail, kind of shy,
Mm.
always to himself, and now August is chest puffed out. He's 17. We're 1 year apart. I'm 18, he's 17, but he's a full grown. I mean, he's becoming an adult. So it's
Mm.
that's the shift. He went from like shy to very confident.
Any challenges playing this character, you think, for you?
Starting off the series, season 1 and 2, I definitely it was a challenge being introverted. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It was kind of unusual for me not to yell action, not for the director to yell action, and then for me to like not use my body or my face or like smile or try to charm anybody in the scene. It
Yeah.
was very like like shy. Like I had to learn how to not use my face as much. And I had to learn how to speak always with my inside voice, because I'm kind of a loud speaker. Like everybody's like, Kale, calm down. I'm sorry. But it was very cool being soft spoken. And I don't think for me, I never woke up and went like, oh, this is going to be so hard today. I woke up and was like, this is going to be awesome. Like I have a challenge. Like this is cool. I always tell this story, but whenever I was on hold for it, I didn't quite book it, but I was on hold for it. No, I was just about to go into the test. It was a Sunday, I tested on a Monday, and we had church that morning, and so I was like, Mom, I think I'm gonna try method acting today, and she was like, uh, okay, be safe. I was like, thanks. And so I just was like introverted for, I think it lasted 3 hours before I just gave up. But I knew it worked because all my mom's friend or my friends' moms went up to my mom, was like, hey, is Kale okay? I was like, okay, cool, got that, and I'm done. And so
Yeah.
I kind of channeled that for season 1 and season 2. But I will say for this season, season 4, nothing's been tricky except for one day, which you'll see it's episode 11, is like insane. Like I reached an emotional depth that I don't think I've ever quite reached on screen before. And so
Mm.
it'll be interesting, people seeing my vulnerable side.
Yeah. You mentioned Jared too. Like, how is it work? Like, what have you learned working besides people like, like Jared or even like Lindsay Morgan?
Oh, dude, just how to keep your head right. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So there's a lot in this industry, it's crazy to think I'm just starting out. You know what I mean? Like I've been
Yeah.
in it for 10 years, but like I'm really just like starting to go. It's insane what this industry can do to people and what working, because I mean we work very hard. Like we obviously we have so much fun, and it's the blooper reel makes it all worth it. But we definitely work super hard, and I feel like a lot of times that can get to people's heads, and just staying humble and just knowing the right things, because I'm 18, I'm becoming a man and I'm becoming an adult, and they all know that I'm the youngest person on the cast, and so I'm always, not just from Jared but from everybody, I'm just getting fed information and knowledge on how to
Right.
become the best version of myself to make this industry just a little bit brighter. And so I feel like I've just been getting such good. I mean, he's just a father figure. Honestly, he's just like pouring into me as an actor and as a man. And so I feel like I just get that. I'm very lucky to have not only him but everybody to just feed into me.
Mm. What's the one best advice he's given you so far?
I always think about this question, and I apologize, but I don't have any like one particular. I definitely there there have been, you know, things said to me that I really stick on to more than others, but I couldn't tell you what they are. I just kind of like
Yeah.
subconsciously that out. But I don't have one piece of advice. I guess I don't know. I guess I just really appreciate that it's a constant stream of advice rather than just
Mm,
like one big hitter, one big hitter. It's always just subtle jabs, you know what I mean?
right. So, behind the scenes question, 4 seasons, what do you think has been like your best, like, funny moment or like a memory that's happened, like, that still sticks to you?
Um, well, this was an embarrassing moment, but I whenever Gavin Castellanio was on the show for season one, um, I was doing the scene where I was like tied up in the back in a kitchen, no, in my dining room, and you know, this we shouldn't be joking at all in this scene, but you know, since he was like he wanted to make me like break my character while I was on my coverage. I was like, I'm gonna do
Okay.
that same thing for him on his coverage. And so, you know, he's also a model, gorgeous man, by the way. Like he's absolutely gorgeous. He I forgot which brands he modeled for, but I thought I heard someone say Abercrombie and Fitch, and so I was like, okay, it's his coverage. I'm gonna scream something, and it's gonna be so funny. And so I'm there. And right before I say it, I second guess myself. I'm like, oh, is it Abercrombie or is it Abercrombie? I have no clue what the name of the actual company is. And so I'm like, you know, tears in my eyes. I'm like, hey, and I say Abercrombie. And the moment I said that, I immediately regretted it. And the we cut the scene and it's great. And the director comes up to me. He's like, hey, what did you just say there? I'm like, it was stupid. He goes, okay, let's don't do that again. And I was like, sorry. And then I hear people in the corner of my ear saying, did he just say Abercrombie? And I still get everybody calls me that till this day, and they don't let me live it down. So that was a very embarrassing moment.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
but yeah,
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah.
So the show has a strong fan base. Like, what's been the interaction with you and the fans and the feedback from the viewers?
Oh, amazing. Like it's been incredible. Um, I really do appreciate how people appreciate my character and the work that I poured into him. And one thing that you know, you see all the time, like I'm sure you can relate to certain movie characters. I relate to certain movie and TV characters, but to hear someone else say that they relate to your character is
Mm,
so new every time. I'm just like, whoa, like that. I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. Um, there's a lot of August fans from Brazil. Like
really?
the main, I guess my main fan base is in Brazil, which I really want to go to Brazil. But it's cool seeing that people from all over the world, not just the USA, but all over the world, like they're just
Mm,
loving it. So all my interactions have been good. I haven't had like many in person just because I look pretty different from August. But there was one at a Chewy's, and it was right by my house where I live in Texas. And I was holding the door open for this mom, and I think this was like season two or something. And she was like, I was like, what did I do? And she was like, I know you from somewhere. And you know, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, I'm from
yeah.
this, you know. But she was like, you're from Walker, Texas Ranger. She was like jumping up and down, and everybody at the restaurant was like looking at her like crazy. I was like, yeah, what's going on? What's going on? But mainly interaction I get is like through online social media, and I love every single interaction.
Amazing. So we have season 4. How many episodes are we expecting this season?
13.
13. Right. And you said what was that one episode that you can't wait for people to watch?
Well, I can't wait for
11.
people to watch all of them.
Yeah, right, right.
But 11 is a really special episode.
Amazing, amazing. What's next for you now? Any other projects you're allowed to tell us about that you're working on?
Yeah, so my brother, we're leaving to California tomorrow. We
Okay.
have a flight in the morning. But my brother has been he's writer and director, and he's written a couple of things. One of them is an 80s themed horror movie, and we're actually going to shoot the proof of concept tomorrow. We're not shooting it tomorrow, but we're flying to California tomorrow, and it's going to be like a 4-day shoot, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's amazing seeing my older brother like his dreams are coming true. Like it's a really important project to him. But I'm working on that this week through next week, and it's going to be an incredible shoot. But other than that, I have nothing, no new projects besides that one. But I'm really excited
Amazing.
about that one. It's going to be awesome.
Amazing. Kale, how can the viewers and listeners find you on social media now to keep up with you for Walker and of course your future projects?
Yeah. My Instagram is Kale Culley official. And then I don't really like do any crazy content on TikTok, but if you want to follow me there, it's just my name, Kale Culley. But Instagram is Kale Culley official.
Amazing. Kale, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes today, and hopefully we get a season 5. We'll get you back on the show. We'll continue the chat.
Cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciated this.
Thank you.